welcome back to my channel. I am Bekah Jo, and today I want to play with makeup. Another just like cozy get ready with me. This is kind of pre-shower makeup. I don't have any like specific topics to talk about today like I have in the last couple videos, but maybe I'll get into a rant as we go about something. I do know that I want to take inspiration today from this picture right here. This is a picture that I found on Instagram. I don't have the original artist in front of me, her name. I don't have it in front of me. If I'm able to find it before I post, I'll make sure to call it out in the description and all of that. But I just thought this look was really pretty, that it's kind of subtle, but it's a little bit of color and it's kind of blown out. It also gave me a good reason to dip into my new Cryptine Cosmetics Burnt Forest palette. I think we can dip into these brown tones and then this gorgeous blue shimmer over here. I have not worn anything from this palette yet. I picked it up, I think, the Black Friday sale, so it's time to put it to use. I am going to start off with my Beef Tallow and Milk foundation from Kingdom Come Home. This is in the shade 1, and it's a little bit yellow leaning on my skin. Let's actually just go ahead and add in, I have this really old, several years old foundation drops from the brand Number 7. They carry this at my local Walgreens. I believe it's like a UK brand. This shade works really well for me as a mix-in. I also used to wear it by itself all the time, so I'm just blending the foundation in with my damp sponge. I do think that the foundation drops changed the shade just a bit, cooled the shade down a little bit, but also gave it a little bit more coverage, which I wasn't necessarily aiming for, but that's okay. I'm just going to take what's left on my hand and we'll use this as concealer today. Have you guys seen any like cool new releases lately? I tend to not that I never watch when somebody does the, what's new in makeup this week, but I don't tend to watch those videos. So I haven't watched any in a little while. I've seen like a few different drugstore releases, but nothing that has really interested me personally, partly just because I know my makeup collection is good. Like, I'm overflowing with makeup. I am blessed. I am content with the makeup that I have, and I hope that it stays that way for quite some time, because it's so much easier to buy makeup than it is to use up makeup. So I'm going to continue focusing on using up my makeup right now. Going in with my Sydney Grace cream bronzer in the shade Cinnamon Roll. And of course I say I'm so content with my makeup right now, as we're going to use a new eyeshadow palette, new to me, today. But that's part of the reason that like I'm okay with things right now. Like, I've bought plenty of makeup in the last several months, and I'm just not inclined to spend makeup money right now. Like, I love the things that I have, and I really haven't seen much of any indie eyeshadow palette releases. Is it just me? Let me know if something has piqued your interest that's come out recently. I would be curious. In our inspo pic, I'm looking at it down here, you've got it on the screen. She's got very like brown tone, muted type of shades on her face. I think I would use my Ensley Rain Shattered Looking Glass to add some of that dimension to the face. And I do want to use a cream. Let's do this. I want to use some of this cream blush down here. I have rearranged these shades, by the way. I tried to kind of sort of match. These are all cream blushes, these are all powder blushes, and then our 3 sparkly highlighters and 2 matte pans shades. So I'm gonna dip into this cream. It's like a peachy shade, and then I think we'll top it with these 2 powder blushes. That's the plan. Or I guess current makeup launches that they don't have to be indie eyeshadow, but like anything. Is anything piquing your interest right now? Let me know. Maybe I have missed a gem. Of course, I'm saying this like as I'm filming it. By the time this video goes up, there's probably going to be something that I'm now obsessing over. But hopefully it's just kind of one of those like quiet times. Like I feel like both for me and then just like in general, the holidays, both between like Black Friday and then through Christmas and even New Year's to some degree, there's just been like a lot of makeup activity, a lot of like content being made, a lot of new products being released, a lot of sales for maybe products that we've been keeping an eye out for. So having a little bit of downtime is welcomed, in my opinion, in my little world over here. Okay, now I'm adding the powder blushes. If you guys are not new here, you know, I just wiped off the brush, by the way, just blending out. You know that I'm not crazy about like brown toned blushes. I go through phases, but for quite some time, it has been more about pinky blushes. I also like never add blush to the end of my nose like this, so we'll see what we think. I mean, that's what I see in my inspo pic, so we'll try it out today. Like I said, we're playing with makeup. This is a pre-shower makeup look, if you will. It's not staying on long and not going anywhere with it, so might as well play around a little. Our inspo gal has beaming highlighter on her nose. We will come back to that. I want to go ahead and do eyes at least, maybe also lip, but we'll come back to the highlighter. I am adding just a little bit of my Sydney Grace brow palette in blonde to my brows. I did already have some gel in my brow from earlier today, and it's holding pretty well, so no need to mess with that. Do you guys have any fun January activities that you like to partake in? Like either something that you make sure that you do in January or something that you just like tend to do in January, or you know, maybe you start it with the new year kind of thing until it fizzles out. I'm not a resolutions gal. I think any day can be a great day to start something new. It doesn't have to just be the beginning of the new year. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just not how I tend to look at goals and such. But January and February and March can be tough. I think, you know, different reasons for everybody, but for me, the sun goes down so early. And like we start getting that way in December, but because of the holidays, which I absolutely love celebrating Christmas and New Year's, Thanksgiving is fun too. That kind of like eases the discomfort of the early nighttime, the shortened daytime, if you will. So when January comes around, I think that I need to approach January at least, if not each of the next 3 months, with like some goal for the month. And like naturally, makeup comes to mind. My friend Jana is doing a BYOP for the month of January, and her theme is peacock, and it's so fun. And part of what I love about it is because I feel like in January, many of us tend to, or at least in my mind, we revert to cool and neutral tones. And I love cool tones. Neutral tones have their place. And I go through phases too. But like, I just think of gray. And it could just be partly like where I live as well, that like, it's just like the sky's just dark. We have sunshine. Today was like almost 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Like it was a beautiful day today. The sun was out. Like it's also odd that that happened in January. That's not like a normal January thing for here. Normally we're in the 30s and 40s for January. I'm gonna start picking up the shade transition with this big fluffy brush while we talk about the winter, the January blues. Like, I'm not, like, it's not anything dramatic. But I would like to just kind of have something to give me a pick-me-up. So talking about Jana's BYOP, I love the peacock theme because it's like anti-gray. Like, I love gray eyeshadow. It's not, again, it's nothing against like the colors in and of themselves, and it's nothing against January directly either. It's just that I could use a little spice, I could use a little excitement, I could use a little fun. So I think that I'm going to install for myself, we'll see how much of it shows up on socials, install some sort of like colorful January. Like, let's not stick to doing gray and neutral looks every day. As with many of my makeup ideas, this concept also may fizzle out in the next week, and that's fine. That's totally okay. If you are a person that loves to wear like gray neutral eyeshadows every day, by all means, may January be your month that you rock it. Going in with a different brush into the shade Soil. I'm just picking up a little bit of this. In my experience with Cryptine, their mattes blend out very nicely, and I want a very subtle depth on the outer portion here. I don't want it to look like a very structured look. I think that's part of what I really like about the inspo pick, is I find that it's not overdone. Like, it's super just blown out and dramatic, but it's not intense based on like depth. Now I'm gonna dip into our blue shade Lake. This is so smooth. The shade is so pretty. It has a little bit of like purple speck to it, but it's also just like silky smooth to the touch. There's no texture at all. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that little purple speck, but okay. So she's got this like halfway to meet the mattes and a little bit on the lower lash line. Oh, this shade is so my kind of shade. And I went back in and I'm just building that up a bit because I want that to be what draws you in. And I even accidentally got it on my lower lash. Nature of using your finger with your eyeshadows, I suppose. I love the inspiration that I get from Jana's monthly BYOPs, and I used to do BYOPs almost monthly. There were a couple other channels that I tried to keep up with. They would do a theme and anybody could participate. It was like an open collaboration type thing. And I just kind of fell away from it. I also know that if I have inspiration for BYOP, by the time I get around to making that BYOP, that inspiration may not be the same anymore. I'm using the same blue shade on a little brush here. And she, inspo pick, she's kind of like drags it not only under her lash, but also like kind of down here. I've seen a few other folks, several other folks, doing this sort of shape with their eyeshadow where they bring it the shape of their under eye bags. I mean that in the nicest way. I too have under eye bags. But it's cool, like it's an artistic thing. I think it's a fun way to change it up a little bit. Going in with that deeper brown and adding that depth to the outer portion of the lower lash line. I want to make the lower lash line just a little bit more intense. This like isn't even requiring any blending. It looks so good. I'm gonna go off camera, add my mascara, and we'll be right back. Welcome back after that commercial break. Obviously it wasn't a real commercial break, but anyway, for my lip liner, I want to go in with Elevate Beauty. I'm going to start with the shade Mom Era. It's a nice neutral shade that has just a little bit of like rosiness or peachiness to it. And then I'm gonna go in with Comeback Season, and this one's just kind of a cool taupey shade. Now I'm just blending those together, because as we discussed in my last video, and I think basically everyone agreed with me, that lip liner trend, it's not for us. And that's okay. Now I'm going in with Give Me Glow Gloss. This is the shade Good Bunny. This is like a peachy neutral shade. So that last video I posted where I was just talking about like some trends and some palettes that just didn't excite me, I loved the feedback on that video. Thank you all so much for indulging me in that discussion. There was all across the board, some folks saying, agree with you 100%. There were folks saying, agree with you 100%, except this product or trend. And there were folks who said, I disagree with you 100%. But I think it's so fun. It's so fun for us to disagree, but we can still engage in these things and not take it personally. And it's so cool to see that we can come together and enjoy content and enjoy makeup. And even though we have like different tastes on this, that, and the other. So I thank you all for engaging in that video and just having fun with me on that. Okay, we're almost done, but we have highlighter. In our inspo pick, she has highlighter on the tip of her nose and then between her eyes. And that's pretty much all we can see. I'm also going to add it to my cheekbones because you can't stop me. And hers looks pretty silvery, pretty frosty. So I cannot stop using the Cold Moon 2 highlighter palette from Ensley Rain. I have picked up let's do 3 shades here to choose between. That one looks less exciting, but trust me, it's so cool. Okay, so I have Silver Tundra on this finger. It's pretty much just an icy shade. And then on this finger is the one in the corner down here, Opaline Frost. That one has a lot of shift to it, and in a very cool way. And then the ring finger here is the one that I just swatched, Frostlit, up here. It's a very subtle, like blue shade. But subtle, but not subtle, you know? Let's take the silvery shade. Let's go with the one in the middle. It is, in fact, called Silver Tundra. I'm gonna start this out on my cheek. I love this highlighter palette. I also have the highlighter palette from the Lands of Enchantment 2.0 release, and I also love that one very much. I think I have all of the face palettes from Ensley Rain because I also have Whispering Woods, which is blush and highlighter. And then I have, like we used, the big palette, the Shattered Looking Glass. Blush, highlighter, kind of bronzery tones in there as well. But their highlighters are just magnificent. I have a few of the singles too, and I don't know if I can say that the formula is different, but those highlighters specifically, like I have some of the blushes in single compacts and some of the highlighters. The single highlighters that I have are almost chunky, and I don't feel like they flatter putting them on the face. Oh, that's so frostbitten. That's so cute. I feel like they're not as flattering, not as easy to use, but maybe that's just me. But I did get them because I got them a while back, but I wanted to be able to mix and match. That was something that I saw on Smithy Sony's channel. She has many of the Ensley Rain blush and highlighter and the palettes and all those sorts of things. And she mentioned that they're interchangeable. They're like all magnetic, so I thought that was cool. Ooh, yeah. This is so fun. I love highlighter. I distinctly remember a few years ago talking to a friend of mine and saying, I just don't understand highlighter. I don't know why people care about it. It doesn't do anything for me. And they were like, that's okay. Like, if you want to try one, you can try the, oh, what's the Essence Pure Nude or something like that. And I got it, and it still didn't do it for me. Like, it's a very pretty highlighter, but I think it's because, kind of like with eyeshadow, well, with any products, once you know what you like, it's really hard to let go of that and to go for something else. And apparently I like really impactful highlighter, like I like really impactful eyeshadow. And so I think that Essence highlighter just wasn't for me. Now I am super into highlighter and I very much enjoy a beaming highlighter. Of course, on the day-to-day going into the office, I'll tone it down a bit, same with my eyeshadow, but it's so fun. So fun to play with, so fun to, it just makes me feel pretty, like just having a little extra sparkle and glimmer on the face. How can you not feel just a little extra pretty with that? Okay, here we are. Here is the final look for today's playing with makeup, cozy, get ready with me, just chat about whatever. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on anything that I did bring up. If there's a topic that you'd like me to chat through, I think that's something that I have been finding through my own like YouTube viewing and consumption, as well as creating content. The last couple videos that I've done have just been cozy, get ready with me, chill, let's just talk. And you guys seem to really like that. And I'm looking for that in the YouTube world as well. Like I'm just enjoying, like we can talk about products as we go through, but not like a demonstration of here is the newest YSL or, you know, whatever the product may be. Those videos are fun too, but at least at the era of makeup that I am in right now, in this January, looking for colorful makeup within my own collection, I'm just enjoying playing with makeup and just chatting. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's video. Let me get all our Bible verse to close us out. Today we are reading 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 10 and 11. But may the God of all grace, who called us to his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after you have suffered a while, perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. To him be the glory and the dominion forever and ever. Amen. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are when you catch this, and I hope to see you in the next one.